All right. Let me give me a little. Let's see here. There's that. All right. So let me go check one more window. All right, bear with me, guys. There's like three things I have to do here. And that will give some people, go ahead and share and hit that like button as you come in. I appreciate that. Let me go here. All right, we're good there. So let me do one more thing here. Go ahead and hit that like button, folks. Let's see here. All right. All right. Now I have to go do this other crazy thing. So let me go to that box there. Let me do that. All right. Let me bring the sound up just a hair. Close that off. Let me go to the chat box. There we go. All right. There we go. It's like I always have to activate that. So, all right, people, hit that like button. Hit that like button for me. Come on now. Let's share this video. Well, it is hump day. You know, it is hump day. Let me get that there. Let me do this. Oh man, so much to talk about. So man. So got so much to talk about here. It's unbelievable. We're celebrating. So you know, we are going to be celebrating here. We are going to have a good time today. Got some other. Now I am in the Discord. I am in the RGT Discord called Open Chat. So if anybody wants to jump on, so just so people know. So so yeah, we're gonna hit that like button for me, people. So if you don't mind, I'm just trying to see why is that box not working now? There's that one. There we go. Hey, you're already at work taking a break? That's why you are the man. So yeah, you are the man. So let me try another something else here. I can't get my box to work right. There's that. All right. Let's see then. All right. Well, what is going on this morning, people? Billy T, Josh, what's happening? Cyber Dragon. He's already at work and he's taking a break. Oh my, he's been at work all for a little while today. I mean, if you're already taking a break at 9 o'clock, what time did you get to work? So, I mean, you working hard for the money. So this morning. So there's that. There we go. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, certainly hope you all are having a wonderful morning and or afternoon. We made it to Hump Day, and like I said, I'm working tomorrow and I'm working this weekend, so I will be able to make it to RGT this weekend. So this Friday, I should say, as long as they have it. What's going on, Sam Ash? Hit that like button, people. Go ahead and I got the links in the description. We got the CNET article. If you don't know, I got the scroll going down there about Insomniac buying Sony. I'm sorry, Sony buying Insomniac for $229 million, which isn't a whole lot for people who are. So you're working on a way to win the lottery. Well, I can't blame you on that one, PUG. I don't blame you. So, yeah, that is crazy. Yeah, I'm off today. Sam Ash is a great deal for both parties. Yeah, I mean, I think they got a pretty good deal for 229 million. I mean, they've already made that money back. But yeah, yesterday, if you all don't know, we'll get kind of to the prop. What we're going to talk about today, we got the Insomniac Sony deal, the actual filing on that. You've got the Microsoft Samsung deal, Samsung going into 5G, and to me, I'll give you my opinion on that. This represents the bulk ending of Microsoft. I want to give a shout out to the Brat podcast yesterday with Enrique and Gaming Forte. They talked about how a lot of people, they talked about anti-consumerism and what it is and what it's not. So shout out to them. Porter Rock's podcast yesterday was really good. So if you all hadn't watched that one, he did a real good job yesterday. And also, I'll give a shout out to Next Gen 720's podcast. They did all right. I've got it. There's an overall theme going on, guys, because I'm going to do some commentary as well. I beat Days Gone for all you all who saw those pictures I put up on the Twitter machine. Basically, excuse me, the Sawmill Horde, this horde that I kept hearing about was trash. I mean, it was not. It was. I thought it was going to be a lot harder to get rid of them than it was, and it wasn't hard to beat them at all. They in essence, what I did was, I don't know if you've beaten Days Gone or if you've taken on the Sawmill Horde. Uh, all you have to do, there's some bushes that are there, and you just have to use those the attractors. And basically, I was attracting 10 to 12 of them at a time, and I weeded them down to and then there were some they would break apart, and I would kill 10 to 12 at a time till I got down to you made it to a section on Days Gone with no ammo. Well, I mean, again, what you have to do is just get that giant bucket of napalm, and I had like 6 of those. And all you have to do, because they're stupid, they for some reason they go to wherever the attraction thing noise is. They just go there. So one giant horde of them, or a whole bunch of them, went to one area where I threw this attractor thing at, and I just threw the napalm out on them, and that took them down to like 20%. And so that 20%, I just used Molotov cocktails on them, and then I weeded them down to like 5%. Then I opened it up on them. I had the M60, or I think they called it the 45G or something. It pretty much is an M60, and I just used that M60 on them, and it's gunned them down. All you have to do is look. Here's how you defeat them. if you go to the very back, if you go to the very back of the sawmill, there's a there's like a bridge or something over the water, and their numbers, as long as they you funnel them on that bridge, their numbers don't matter. It's like, man, they had all these things you could use to just thin their numbers down, and you know, or so that their numbers didn't matter. I don't, you know, there's people talking about how hard that was going to be or moist as hell. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, they're moist. So, but again, I beat the game, um, which I still don't know what happened, why there's a virus outbreak. I don't know if there's added missions. I don't care if there's added missions. I thought the game was fun. I thought it was harder riding. I don't know how you could ride your motorcycle at 60 miles an hour and a wolf catch up to you. You know, I thought that was stupid, but I mean, the game itself, the game is solid. It's a solid 7 for me. It's always been that way. It didn't change. Um, so there are things about the game I liked. The last mission I thought was really good. The last mission is the Sawmill Horde. Then you attack the complex, and that wasn't difficult at all. So, so you can clear some out early in the game. Crank Days Gone up to ultra hard. Nah, there's no reason to. It's still the same game. PUG. I mean, again, I'm not complaining about the game. The game itself is fun. I enjoyed the game. Um, yeah, I mean, there are things about the game I thought were a little hokey, but overall, I thought the game was, you know, it's Sony Ben's first time at a game that size. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I remember I had to kill some giant bear. That was actually all you have to do is throw the napalm on them. And once you get that napalm, that game becomes doesn't is easier. The toughest hordes to take on are the ones that you can't plan for. Maybe because, you know, I played Mass Effect and you actually have to go into each situation tactically thinking. That Sawmill Horde, it was just disappointing to me. It was disappointing to me. So, what's up, the Almighty Spartan God? But I enjoyed the game, but I don't want to hear nothing else about the Sawmill Horde. I mean, it was disappointing. You know, it was like, you know, the vegan Whopper. I tried that the other day, and it was nasty. And they have these commercials like, oh, you can't tell. Oh, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Meat has a different texture than veggie. Have I beaten Far Cry New Dawn? New Dawn, no. No, I haven't beaten that one. I did not beat that one. So, did I beat Far Cry? I think I beat Far Cry. So, the challenges are good. Well, I mean, again, I'm not knocking the game. I enjoyed the game. I just think the people who were saying the Sawmill Horde is this this next level thing, that those people lie. You know, or you simply there are like 5 or 6 different ways to funnel the Sawmill Horde down, and they provide those things for you right there. You know, it's not difficult. So, but again, I'm not knocking the game. I enjoyed the game, but the people who were saying it's this, and that, and the Sawmill Horde this. I mean, I went in there thinking there was going to be like 10,000 zombies, and there were maybe 350 to 400 of the Sawmill Horde, give or take. And to me, it's not the biggest horde in the game. They say it is. I'm like, no, there's some. Those hordes that are the hardest hordes to fight are the ones that are in the jungles or in the woods, because you can't you can't funnel them into certain areas. But yeah, it was crazy. It was a fun game though. But that was my Sawmill Horde thing. That is Mass Effect playing in the playing on the screen there, Lincoln. Shout out to Lincoln Clay. Um, so it depends on what difficulty I play on. Oh, fair enough, fair enough. I mean, maybe there's the higher the difficulty, the more zombies they put in there. So, And they are zombies. People are acting like, oh well, no, they're not zombies. No, they're zombies. You know, so because they're stupid. So, but so yeah, but we'll go ahead and move on to. Also, shout out to the round table. They had a good podcast yesterday. They weren't all talking over each other. So shout out to the round table podcast. King Thrash. Um, King Thrash said over 6 months ago he went on the multiplayer podcast, and they kind of broke his balls talking about he didn't know what he was talking about with Microsoft and cell phones and stuff like that. And I mean he wasn't 100% right, but he wasn't wrong. He got that on. I mean, the fact that Microsoft is getting on the cell phones is what his point was. You know, so he got that right. So shout out to King Thrash for getting that right. But and like I said, I'll go into this underlying theme on some of the podcasts. But yeah, I'm going to talk about anti-consumerism now because I really do think that Brat did a good podcast on it yesterday, and I agree with it. What anti-consumerism is to these moist fruit booties at this point, it is their inability to get things how they want to get them. You understand? They'll say that's anti-consumer because they've grown up in a world. I remember when you used to go to McDonald's and if you got a cheeseburger, you couldn't tell them, oh, I want this on it, I want that on it, I want extra this. You just got a cheeseburger. They wouldn't give you anything extra or take things off. What's up, uncompetitive? Hey guys, hit that like button for me and share the video. Um, and they've grown up in a world where they can go to McDonald's or Wendy's and get it the way they want it. So they're used to consuming things the way they want to consume them. And the fact they undercut their own arguments when they say, I don't want to have to buy something to access it. And it's like the fact that you have the ability to go buy something means it's pro-consumer. If it's anti-consumer, you couldn't buy it. Where they undercut their argument again is you can go back to a gaming console. You go back to the Xbox One when they put out when Shadow the Tomb Raider comes out. Phil Spencer kept it off the PlayStation for a year. He paid for exclusivity. Now they'll say, well, it was only for a year. Well, isn't that anti-consumer that somebody else had to wait a year? Or that's based on their own logic. But that person, they could have went and got an Xbox. Yeah, they could have went and got an Xbox and played Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I mean, that's reality. So you can have McDonald's brought to your door. I can't. I don't have McDonald's brought to my door. Why would I do that? So, but at the end of the day, my point is that it's not anti-consumerism if you, the consumer, have the ability to buy it. They're Brap and them are right. That's called capitalism. The fact that you have the ability to go buy it is pro-consumer. You know, anti-consumer would be products you can only get in certain parts. Like if you had to like Starbucks was Starbucks anti-consumer when they started in Seattle. If you lived in Los Angeles, you couldn't, in order for you to get you couldn't get Starbucks in Los Angeles, but there was nothing preventing you from going from Los Angeles to Seattle to get some coffee from Starbucks. You see what I'm saying? What's up, Ice Queen? So do you all see the difference? So there's no anti-consumer practice there because you, the consumer, have the right to go get something that you want to get. But I agree with, I think it was Gaming Forte and Enrique. They specifically said to them, anti-consumer is them not being able to get it the way they want it. So they're going to say it's anti-consumerism. There was even somebody who said something like, well, Sony not doing crossplay was anti-consumer. Well, how was it anti-consumer? Was it anti-consumer when Microsoft didn't want crossplay last generation? Was that anti-consumer? No. You go into these ecosystems and you are locked in. It was an anti-consumer that the PlayStation Pro was 4.2 T-flops, and you could not, as a consumer, buy the Sony device, the PlayStation Pro, and put a different GPU in there. Is that anti-consumer? Because see, based on their logic, it is. But that's why I like the fact that the way they put it, it's not about that. It's about them not being able to get something the way they want it. So this new word for them is, well, if I can't do it the way I want to do it, it's anti-consumerism. So Josh Saul says he bought his PlayStation for the exclusives, he bought a Switch for exclusives, and you bought your One X to play Fallout 4 and Skyrim with mods. Nothing about it is anti-consumer. Yeah, I know, because you as a consumer have the right to go to the store and buy it. That makes it pro-consumer. It's called capitalism. Okay, that's capitalism. That's the way it works. I'll ask a PC question here. Is NVIDIA anti-consumer because they put out the 2080 Ti and they charged $1,400 for it? Is that anti-consumer? Because NVIDIA had to know that a lot of people weren't going to be able to buy that graphics card. So are they practicing anti-consumerism against those other people? Or is NVIDIA, the fact that it's, no, they're not. The fact that the NVIDIA puts out the graphics card at all for you to possibly buy is pro-consumer. That's the way consumerism works. Okay? Now, if NVIDIA said, we're only going to make this graphics card and you can only buy it on credit card, and then out of the credit card, your credit score had to be $850 or $850 credit score. That's anti-consumerism. That's if they announce it. You dig? You know, if they announce it, then there's a problem. Yeah. Shout out to Silverback for the $2 holla. It is just Xbox loser talk. It's just loser talk. So, I mean, it's just who's going to build the better mousetrap. So, you know, and it just, you know, so, okay, so the NVIDIA streaming service, is that anti-consumerism, or is the fact that you can get that, you can get Stadia, you can eventually get xCloud, you can eventually wait on the Amazon one, allegedly. Isn't that pro-consumer, giving you the option to use 3 to 4 different services? That's pro-consumer, okay? Because you have the option as a consumer. Right now, Disney Plus, Netflix, and Hulu and Amazon Prime, those are your 4 dominant streaming services. They're competing against each other for your dollar. Okay. Now, guess what? As a consumer, you don't have to have any of them. You don't have to have any of them. You can just cancel all of them. Like, I don't want none of it. That's pro-consumer, because you're making a decision to buy it or not buy it. What would be anti-consumer is if you were to go and buy a phone or a TV set or a tablet, and then them saying, well, the only way you can watch Netflix is on this service. Like if Netflix Netflix would have to create a TV set. So say if Netflix creates a TV set, they make a physical TV set, and they say, okay, the only way you're going to be able to watch Netflix is through this TV set. That's still pro-consumer, because nothing is preventing you from going to get their TV set. Nothing. Okay, so well, NVIDIA, didn't they just lose a major game? Was it Activision is pulling all their games off of it? It was somebody like that pulling their games off of it. But I mean, again, I really did love the fact of the way they tackled it. It's like, no, it's it's not anti-consumer that Five Guys has hamburgers. You can go there and get a hamburger, a fry, and a chocolate shake for like $10. That's not anti-consumer because you're having to pay $10. Because guess what? You don't have to go in there to eat. That's pro-consumer. You the consumer are making the last. You're making the choice to go. There's nothing more pro-consumer than you having a choice. So so to go do what you want. So I hopefully everybody understands that. You know, so Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo can't be anti-consumer because they're giving you the option to buy what you want to buy. They're not, that's it. That's the end of it. You don't have to buy any of them. You don't have to buy any of them. And that's pro-consumer. You can buy all of them and participate. That's pro-consumer. So you can buy one and just participate in one ecosystem. So, but this whole notion of, I bought a PlayStation or I bought an Xbox and I can't play The Last of Us. I can't play Spider-Man. It's not fair that Sony is keeping Spider-Man off of the Xbox. And it's like, okay, they don't understand that both Sony and Nintendo. Now, here's where we're going to kind of get into some of the topics here. Sony and Nintendo use software to drive hardware, okay? Sony and Nintendo use software to drive hardware. Microsoft, by what they're doing, and shout out to Porter Rock 77 because he made, I think, a great point. Microsoft is just choosing to go cloud. Okay, and Nintendo and Sony aren't going to build those infrastructures for their consoles. They're just not going to do it. All right, Google has a cloud, Amazon has a cloud, Microsoft has a cloud, IBM has a cloud, Oracle has a cloud, Apple has a cloud. I mean, so they can become a customer to any one of those guys and not have to worry about infrastructure. Okay, because it would be, so I think so Sony is using Azure and the Amazon cloud. They don't have to worry about an IT person being there at the server farm. I think that's what they're called, to maintain the servers and things like that. So JS Geico, haven't heard anything out of Rand or Jason Schreier about. Oh, well, yeah, I mean, again, we're almost at the end of February. Well, we're in February, and again, Horizon Zero Dawn is on PC right now through PS Now. It will be there for the next 3 to 4 months. So, CRU, what's going on? Peace, my brother. Peace and love to CRU, the foundational Negro. So, Sony charging money for its games is anti-consumer. Yeah, there you go, Silverback. Yeah, which is not anti-consumer because you have I mean, how many of you all have every Sony game? I mean, Sony doesn't. Now, here's what would be anti-consumer. If Sony came out and said, in order for you to play, I don't know, Days Gone, you have to also play, I don't know, XCOM. That's anti-consumer. Because they're basically saying in order for you to access one thing, you have to do something else. That is anti-consumer. So, but guess what? All of them, none of them do that. They don't do that. So that's crazy. So, but who's not anti-consumer is Nintendo. See, Nintendo's not anti-consumer for the simple fact that the people in the community don't want to play their games. They want to play Sony's games and they don't want to have to buy an Xbox. But I have another hypothesis. Okay, I have another hypothesis on why this is happening. So, but let me go ahead and get me let me pour me something to drink, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm coming back. Okay. All right. See, I think deep down, these cats know that Microsoft is going to be putting games on the PlayStation, and you know the reason why I say that is it's like when you walk into the house and your girl's in the kitchen, and let's just say she's going to make chili, but the chili's not ready yet. Okay, she may have the pot going. You can smell the aroma. It's going through the house. The aroma's going through the house. So, um, you know, it's you know, it's so it's like you're going to be having some chili, but you can't. Your mouth kind of waters a little bit. You're like, oh, we're gonna have some chili later on, and so since they're gonna have the chili later on, um, they know this is about to happen because Microsoft is leaving the console space. This is why the Samsung Microsoft deal is important. Also, remember that Samsung unveiled 5G phones yesterday. I mean, so again, Microsoft wanting to stream and Samsung actually having physical 5G phones now, unveiling them yesterday at their presser yesterday. Um, that's a big deal. That is a big deal. I mean, Microsoft's future is cloud based, which is fine. Mm. Microsoft's future is cloud-based gaming. So again, no infrastructure. This is what Porter Rock 77 was talking about yesterday. No infrastructure. So if there's no infrastructure, you can just maintain the content. Microsoft's content will be in the cloud. Samsung they make they make a bunch of shit. Okay, they make a bunch of stuff. So they make TV sets. They make tablets. I know this because I got a Samsung tablet and TV. So and again, Mike, you will be able to, like you used to be able to with the PS Now with Sony. When you would buy a Sony TV, you would get when you would buy a Sony TV, you would have access to PS Now. That's reality. So do not be surprised. Maybe this year with Samsung's TVs, if Xbox isn't on there, like the Xbox app for Game Pass or X Cloud will be on there. You'll just you will go ahead and remote play right there on your TV through Xbox. You won't need an Xbox to do it. You know what I'm saying? So you'll just be able to you'll come home, you'll turn on your television set, you'll use your Samsung remote control to go to the Xbox app, you'll get the app up and running, you may have a little connecting device so that the Xbox gamepad connects to the TV wirelessly, if that's what you choose to do. Or you can do it through the USB on the Xbox, okay? Because Samsung TVs have USB ports on them, okay? And you'll be able to play your game right there. That's it. It'll just stream right to your TV set. So, mm. JS Geico said that the Switch Pro needs to happen or Nintendo third-party support about to be Thanos snap. We'll have to wait and see. Well, again, Nintendo has already said that they're not going to have it this year. They've already said they're not doing it. So it's time to move that off the table. So Silverback says it's another reason not to buy a Series X. Well, again, my reason to not buy a Series X was simple. They came out and said they're not going to have no games for 2 years. So for me as a consumer, I'm making a consumer decision not to go buy one. I'm not even going to look at it for at least 2 years. Why would I? They have come out, Microsoft, the parent company of Series X, has come out and said, we're not going to have it, which is fine. It's fine. They were honest with the consumer, me, so I can make an honest buy and say, well, I'm not going to buy it until they get games, or look to buy it. No infrastructure. It's simple. 901. It's if there's no console, the everything will be in the cloud. There's no console, which is fine. I mean, I think people are under this impression that I'm bashing it. I've never said this is a terrible idea. I get it. Microsoft got their tail kicked in physical media. They got their tail kicked by Google and search and phones. They got their tails kicked by Sony and Nintendo in the console space. So you're going to go where you can be on top. And right now, Microsoft has more games than Google Stadia. Microsoft has more games than Amazon. So yeah, I mean, and if Amazon is going to get into streaming and Google is they've only been streaming for what like 90 days, not even that. It's best for Microsoft to go there and be the dominant group. They'll be the alpha. They've got whatever 600 games, however many games they got on to stream with. They may be able to stream them all. I don't know how they're going to do that. They'll have to announce that, which is perfectly fine. But there's this whole notion that Microsoft leaving the physical space isn't a bad thing because they're still going to make games. Okay? They're still going to make games. They're just, I mean, physically, and we're talking 6 to 10 years down the road. Microsoft and Apple and Amazon are not as successful as they are because they didn't think 7 to 10 years down the road. So, Sony is scared to announce a price on Series. No, I mean, Christopher, the fact that you say Xbox dues already disqualifies your comment. There's no reason to announce how much it's going to be because it's not available. So why give out a price? They're not finished with it. So Silverback said he loves Windows Phone. I looked at them. They were just kind of, But my point is that Google's phones were better. Google's phones came out and people went out and bought them. So, I mean, I'm going to get a Pixel 3. So you still have to upgrade the cloud servers, which costs more than consoles long term, not to mention R&D and part exchanges. Well, again, does it cost in the long term? I mean, updating cloud is not that expensive when you're Microsoft and Amazon, things like that. I mean, I think what was the R&D for the Xbox Scorpio and Xbox One S? Wasn't it a gazillion dollars? I forgot how much it was. So Samsung phones are overrated. Actually, well, Samsung's phones are destroying the Apple phones. The Samsung phones are the biggest, aren't they the most dominant group of phones out there when they have Android on them as well? So that they want that Android operating system is what they're getting into because the Android operating system, and again, Microsoft doesn't have to worry about the phones because now Samsung has to worry about that. Microsoft can just deliver the content. That's what they want to do. And again, so 901, if you don't understand that, Microsoft doesn't have a shit ton of phones on market. Okay, they don't. They're going to go to Samsung and use Samsung's 5G networking and all that kind of stuff, which is fine. So, he said the first game is Forza Streets. I heard that game was trash. I heard it was trash. So I don't know if it is or not, but I heard it was trash. So, and I like Forza, but I think that game is trash. So, I mean, garbage. So, I mean, garbage. But no, it's I just do not see why this is so hard for certain people. It's like they're denying. What's up, Arta Forte? It's like they're denying what's in front of them. But I think deep down, going back to my chili thing, I think deep down, the Xbox community, they know that Sony is going to be getting Microsoft's games eventually because Microsoft is getting out of the console business. So eventually, yeah, Gears will be on the PlayStation. Why do I say things like that? Well, if you don't see what's happening right in front of, and again, if you've been sub to me for over a year or longer, I've been saying this for like a year and a half that eventually Game Pass will come to PlayStation and to Nintendo. For the simple fact that Microsoft just wants to deliver content, which is fine. That's why when I was listening to Next Gen 720's podcast the other day, and Porter Rock was on there, and I think J Dub. This is when I was taking on the Sawmill Horde, so I think this was Sunday. Um, the guys on there had this underlying tone that they were talking to Porter Rock and J Dub. It was almost like they were trying to get those two guys to admit Sony's going to be doing the exact same thing, and it's kind of like, no, they don't have to do the exact same things. The San Francisco 49ers got to the Super Bowl and played against the Kansas City Chiefs. They don't do the same. They didn't do the same thing to get there. They have different offenses. They had different defensive philosophies. They had different special team philosophies. They had different plays. So they each got to the same spot, but they got there differently. And I don't understand why that's not something that there's people that people can that people can wrap their heads around. So I do not understand. So, no, Joshua, congratulations on that. Boy, you got a lifetime of happiness to look forward to. So certainly hope mom and baby will be healthy, and wishing you all nothing but the best. So, what's going on, Mr. Cat Guardian? How you doing? So I mean, I just mean there's like a resistance. There's a resistance to what Microsoft is doing. So I don't understand that. That people are like, well, if you go around saying Microsoft is leaving, you're bashing Microsoft. How? I think it's good that they're going to concentrate on content and the way the content is delivered, because Microsoft at its DNA is a content delivery company. That's how they made their gazillion dollars. You hate gaming on phones. Yeah, I mean, again, it's not a matter of it's not a matter of it bothering people. It's a matter of the fact that it's happening is so that Microsoft can go ahead and deliver their games on the better hardware. And again, Microsoft does not have to build Samsung phones. They don't have to maintain Samsung's they don't have to maintain Samsung's infrastructures. They don't have to do any of that. Okay, all they have to do is create the content and get the content ready to be delivered to the Samsung user. That's a good thing. And you got people out here just going nuts. So I just don't understand that. So you can't imagine playing an FPS on your phone or RPG game. Well, I can't either, and that's perfectly fine. Let me make that clear. I can't understand how people do that either. But guess what? I'm not going to do it, so it doesn't affect me at all. Now, I was looking at a Samsung phone, but I had already decided to get a Google Pixel phone. So I'll be getting it. I'll wait till next month to get it. So, and that's fine. I mean, again, they're going to have to offer me a better deal on that Samsung phone. I may get the Samsung phone. I'm looking at one. It was called the Baby Galaxy. So, but the Pixel phone for me, based on what I want to do, is perfect for me. And I'm getting Stadia, so it's perfect for that too. So, but yeah, this whole thing, this whole notion that this deal is a bad deal. It literally does represent the end of console gaming for Microsoft. And again, they're not going to stop today. They're not going to stop 3 years from now. They're not going to stop 5 years from now. 7 years from now, they'll just say, hey, look, if you want to access and play, I don't know, Forza 12, you can just go to the cloud and get it, and then you can stream that on your Samsung TV. You can stream that on your Samsung tablet. You can stream that on your Samsung phone. I think by then you will have it on PlayStation and Nintendo. That's just it is. It is what it is. So, and people are getting upset about it. That's why when Porter Rock and J Dub were on that Next Gen podcast, the guys on there were literally trying to get those. They were trying to get them to just say, well, Sony's going to do the same thing. Sony will do the same thing as Microsoft's doing. No, they don't have to. They don't have to. And again, it's they're not going to be putting games on PC day and day. They don't have to. And had Microsoft sold 100 million consoles, Microsoft wouldn't be doing it either. So all the bots will now ditch iPhone for Samsung and say Android is the best thing ever. Yeah, of course they will. Of course they will. Or they'll say, well, eventually Microsoft will put it on Apple. Eventually Microsoft's going to put it on Apple. I mean, that's what they're going to say. But yeah, you'll have some of those moist fruit bats running around talking about, they'll talk about, yeah, I'm getting rid of my iPhone and I'm going to get the Samsung device so I can stream. Yeah, there's going to be some people doing that, but which again, is that anti-consumer because Microsoft did that with Samsung and they didn't do it with Apple? You don't hear them screaming anti-consumerism. I mean, but again, based on their own practice, what they say, it's anti-consumer, and it's not anti-consumer. So it's not anti-consumer. It's this them being stupid. So, That Push Square released a review on Dreams, gave it a 10 out of 10. Well, Push Square is a Sony fanboy site, so I would expect that. So, but Microsoft is always chasing. Well, I mean, again, based on what Microsoft wants to do, Samsung makes the most sense because they have the biggest market. So yeah, you want to deliver your goods on the big market. I just, the Push Square is not a. It is. It's a PlayStation. I don't know if it's an official website, but they are pretty PlayStation centric. So, but yeah, just have to wait and see what they're gonna do. So, but yeah, I mean, to me, I've got no issue with this at all. People were, I was happy because I'm like, yeah, well, they got to do something. They had to do something because of what's happened to them this generation. So I don't blame them. They think cloud-based gaming is the future for them, and I got no issue with that, none whatsoever. Again, I will not be participating in it because I do not. I won't be participating in it because I'm not buying their console. It's just I'm not doing it. I certainly wish them the best of luck. I'm not going to sit up here and hate on them. But yeah, this whole notion of, well, they're not going to be doing this, they're not going to be doing that. They're going to be doing it. They're going to be doing it. So now, how many of you all yesterday got the Last of Us Part 2 theme put on your PlayStation? Because I didn't. I did not, because I was at work, and so all right, now where do I go on there on PlayStation to get that theme? So it looks like a whole lot of you all did. But see, I've already got the game reserved, and once you put that game in, it's going to give you like different dynamic themes. So a lot of you all did. All right, now where on the PlayStation Store go to codes and go to codes in the store? Oh, it was a code. Okay, so they just gave out a free code. Dang on, I'm sorry I missed that. If it was free, so I did not know it was a code. So does anybody still got the code? Well, because I've already have I've got the game reserved, and I thought part of the reservation was when you get the game, it will have that. So, just just trying to figure that out. That I'm confused now. So, right now, looks like the corona death is a death virus. The coronavirus has eclipsed 1,100 people. Trying to see if you're gonna Dreams on PlayStation or whatever if she comes to PC. I mean, again, it got it. I don't even know what that game's about. Go to the official PlayStation website, read article. The code is in it. All right, well, I will, but I already have a dynamic theme on there. No, I've got the Witcher theme still on there. So, all right, yeah, I'll remember that code there. So last was part 2, day and night dynamic theme. All right, so yeah, that is a theme where if it's daytime, you get it looks different. Is that what they did? Then when it turns night, the theme changes. That's actually pretty cool. So that is actually pretty cool. So, but yeah, shout out to them. And remember what I told you guys. You were going to start getting a soft push of marketing on that game. And I think the soft marketing push starts when they're at PAX East with that 1 hour demo that yeah, I hope that, hold on. I hope that they Naughty Dog goes ahead and puts that demo out for everybody to use to check it out, because I think that would be cool. Give everybody an hour just to kind of see what the game's going to be like. Now, what's going on, Spartan God?
Uh, they said that you'll be able to play, I think, at PAX.
Yeah, PAX East, yeah.
And did you hear Neo to win gold?
To what now?
Neo 2. It
Neo
win
2.
gold.
Oh, it went
Yep.
gold. No, I did not know that. That's new. That's new news. So, it's great news. When is it coming out?
Next month.
Oh, wow. Well, see, I didn't play Neo 1, but that's great news. All you ought to want to do a hack and slash, Neo 2 will be out
But we
in
still get
6
nothing
weeks.
about Ghost of fucking Tsushima. That's what I want to hear.
Oh, yeah. Well, everybody wants to know about Ghost of Tsushima. I'm more interested in that now that I know the time and what the game's about. I'm like, oh, all right, this actually sounds pretty interesting. So,
I was always more interested in that game
yeah.
than The Last of Us.
Yeah, well, for
Oh,
me, I'm
that's
more interested in Final Fantasy VII than The Last of Us. So that's no hate on The Last of Us. I'll be getting that too. So,
oh
uh,
yeah. That's how they did the theme. Okay. Okay, so daytime is literally daytime, and then the nighttime is when she's behind cover. Okay.
yeah, I think the daytime she's playing the guitar, and then the
She's
night.
not playing it. It's just a picture of her.
Oh, okay. And then nighttime, yeah, she's in cover, which is cool.
What?
I mean, that's a different way to do it. So,
Why
uh,
Sony keep bothering me about this PS Now shit? Like, leave me alone.
well, it's 7. They keep bothering me with a 7-day trial. Like I ain't gonna do it. So
Yeah.
I guess I should have done it last week when I was sick and I had like 5 straight days off. I kept saying, well, I mean, they got one game I want to play, and that's Metal Gear Guns of the Patriots, or Metal Gear 4, I guess that's what
Oh,
it
that's
is.
what I'm gonna go for.
Yeah, so I never played that. So I'm thinking, oh, well, I may get that, but then I'm like, I'm busy. So, oh, I can still claim that code. Well, that is fine.
I just did.
Yeah. Well, I'll do it, but I need to go keep paying a little more money down on my game because I've
It's
almost
free.
got it paid off. So, you know, I'd rather do that, but I will still do it. But nah, that's good.
There's
Good
a
for them. Good for Naughty Dog reaching out because I know they haven't said anything for like 100 days after they delayed this game.
Wait a minute. What black and white theme?
It just
Which
says it's a
PlayStation
theme on
store?
the store. So,
I don't see that. Where?
oh yeah, I don't know. I mean,
That's
I'll look
funny.
at it. You know, I'll look at it here shortly to find
Let me
it.
see this.
So,
This bullshit. Let me check. Fucking. Damn, I have a lot of shit on this game system. So, Craig, what you up to?
I'm off today. I'm just gonna go to GameStop and then I'm gonna give me
Oh,
something to
nothing.
drink, and then I'll be back home. I'm just
That
literally I'm gonna go up there and put
sucks.
some money down on that game.
There's a black and white. Yes, I don't see that shit.
They said
Is
it's
it
an
The Last of
old
Us?
theme.
It's old.
It's an old theme.
Okay. So, if I can't find shit.
Hit that like button, people. It says according to this, we got 50 people watching. Like YouTube says there's 50 of you all, and OBS says there's 47. Um,
I ain't gonna hold you, man.
okay,
This
hold on.
game is gonna be fucking awesome, bro.
All right, hopefully it lives up to what everybody says. They talking about the greatest game of all time and all that kind
What?
of stuff.
What, The Last of Us?
Yeah, I'm like, well, I hope it lives up to that. You know.
No, that's not the greatest game of all time. The fuck?
Well, yeah, that's what the claim is from their fanboys. I'm like, all right, well, I hope it lives up to that, guys. Because I
Y'all
think it's gonna be
motherfuckers are
good
crazy.
though. I don't think there's gonna be anything in it that's you haven't seen before, but then again, they might. I mean, they may have some different things in there. I don't know.
Y'all motherfuckers lied to me about this theme. Where's it?
There we go. There's that. All right, I got that CRU for a Warframe. So let's see here. There's that. So, but yeah, but again, let's see here. Was that's almost 10 o'clock? Damn. I think that's what I was going to talk about. Yeah, I love what Porter Rock's podcast yesterday trying to tell people things. I saw Jack Reacher do another video today. So I did have a
Yeah,
look at
it's
that
just premieres
video.
now. It's premieres now, I've noticed. They don't go live no more. They just stream what they already did and just premiere it.
Yeah, there you go. Well, Roger
Mighty
says,
MM took into that too, I've noticed.
yeah, Matarazzi saying that he thinks the deal is just to put Microsoft app preloading on their phone. Well, I mean, they're also going to have some Samsung stuff on their.
We get it for
Yeah,
the fucking code, okay.
yeah, we got
We
the
get
code.
it.
Yeah, I'll get it. Yeah, I'll get the code. They're putting that in there for me. They're just dropping it in there for me because I won't put that up there probably till later on today. That's if I do it because it's kind of like, it's all right.
Yeah, just do the code now so you can shut the fuck up.
So, but that game's 100 days out. So I'll do it if they drop the demo. Like if they
Is it
say we
really?
play that demo at PAX East and they're talking about maybe in mid March or end of March, they say that demo is going to come out to play. It's going to be like a 1 hour demo. Like hell yeah, I'll go ahead and do it then. So,
You want to play an hour of The Last of Us before it comes out?
well, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing it just to see what the talk's about, to see what they've done differently. So, which is fine. I mean, I would kind of be mad, but I was like, I'll go ahead and do it. So, gonna do a
I'm not playing.
vlog. Yeah, I'm gonna do a vlog on it. But no,
This
they've got
vlog.
It says here the chip to reduce input lag. Well, I think the Samsung deal for Microsoft makes sense considering they're getting out of the physical market. And they're not going to
Tonight.
do it tomorrow. They're gonna get out of the physical market, like I say, by 2030. And you'll just be able to go and access their stuff via the cloud, which is fine. I'm not mad about that. That's what I would do if I were them. That way you don't have to deal with physical anything anymore. You got Samsung that you can deliver to their TV sets, to their tablets, to their phones. So that's perfectly fine. That is great. If you strike a deal with Sony, Sony has tablets, Sony has phones, Sony has TV sets. You can do the same thing there too.
They should have
So
did it with Sony instead.
well, they still might. They still might. Sony is probably watching what they do with Samsung because Sony is Samsung's competitor, especially in the TV market.
That's their
Sony
main
makes so.
competitor.
Yeah, that is a big competitor. Yeah, so we have to definitely wait and see. And they could be doing it to bring Sony to the table to say, yeah, to do it. Because it would not shock me if you find out in 2028. Don't be shocked if you find out in 2021 Game Pass was offered to PlayStation. They've already offered Master Chief. So if you don't think
I
they
think it
couldn't,
was.
so I think they'll offer it again, but they probably want to see how it does on Samsung, which is
I'll be
fine.
honest with you.
Fine.
Phil Spencer said one thing that he wasn't like because he didn't stutter. He didn't say anything of the sort. He said basically Microsoft, they are a business, but the only thing that would stop their games going to other platforms, and he said other platforms just like that. He said is if Xbox Live was on PlayStation.
Yeah, which makes sense because I mean you can't just give it away. You got to say, well, if you want that, we want this. So yeah, and eventually, I think ultimately, probably down the line, that something like that may happen. But I still think Sony is going to allow it. Just it will only be allowed on their phones,
But
tablets,
Craig,
and
no,
TVs.
it's being allowed because remember, Marcus, they finally getting the Minecraft update where you will be able to sign into Xbox Live on PlayStation.
Yeah,
So they're creating another account. I don't think you need that. I think people actually use their actual account, the same emails for Xbox Live and PlayStation. So Microsoft can do that because it's still, you log it in.
yeah, which is fine. I mean, like I said, it's going to happen. I mean, that's just like Keith Thrash was saying about Microsoft getting into the phone thing. He may have been wrong about what phones Microsoft is talking about, but
No, he was
he was
correct.
talking about, but he was correct as far as them getting to the phone. So, which is fine. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense to me. You know, so
No, he was right. He said they wanted to get into phones, like a partnership. Think about it. Both of them not really strong in phones market.
mhm.
And I've noticed that when PlayStation Now came out, it was literally about Samsung TVs it was on, Sony TVs. It was Samsung TVs was the first to go. And I noticed that it's not the first time they're linking up with Samsung because Samsung sells the most phones, Android phones. But be honest, Craig, iPhone users support more gaming than Android ever will. The App Store revenue speaks for itself.
Yeah.
I don't know
Well,
why.
sure.
Think about it. Sony and Apple did something already.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, again, those guys did not get to where they are now um, with being selfish. So being selfish, they're going to open the platform up to other people. Um, that's just what they're going to do. It's not to me. It's not a big deal. Um, to some of the people doing the console war,
Next, yo, but
they're running out of they're running. There's nowhere else for them to run. I really don't know what they're going to end up doing. So
I just think people need to stop overreacting about Sony going the way of Microsoft. No, it wasn't the way of Microsoft because, well, okay, let's be honest. You had Sony who used to publish games before they got their own consoles. They used to own shit and publish it on Nintendo devices in the late 1980s. Sony Music currently publishes games on the Nintendo Switch, in case y'all
mhm.
forgot. We had Sony Soft, they're kind of disbanded now, but we had Sony being kind of like third party before, like software wise. You have Sony right now that have software on phones. Like right now, y'all think when Samsung come up with the new lenses that zoom all the way out, those ain't Samsung lenses. Those are Sony lenses. They're just not going to tell you that because Sony are their main rival.
Yeah, and they don't want you to
Apple, Apple,
find out.
Apple could say that because they don't have no tech about that. Sony and Samsung make the same shit. So people just gotta pay attention, man. Like companies be telling you all along what they're gonna do. I just gotta listen.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree. I do
Like
not disagree.
Sony is gonna go third party regardless. Like eventually, even though they make hardware, it's not the first time Sony has dabbled in just hardware and software at the same time. They're fucking right now. They're a damn console manufacturer and they're a publisher of games or software. Why anybody surprised?
Well, I mean, again, they use their software to push their hardware. It's their
Which is what you're supposed to do.
yeah, but Microsoft isn't doing that. So they're
So
under
that's their
this
problem.
impression. Um, we're really they're giving off the impression that people need to do the exact same thing. Like they're like, well, no, Sony and Nintendo need to do what Microsoft is doing. It's like, no, no, they don't have
Why?
to.
When they're the ones who want Microsoft and Sony games because they're not doing what Microsoft is doing. That makes no sense. How does that make sense? Why should they follow Microsoft? They don't even like their own games. How the fuck they going?
Oh
Why
yeah, I
should
know.
they?
Yeah, I don't disagree. Yeah, they're not they're not buying games. They just want a service to access the games for a certain
No, they
amount of
don't even
time.
want that shit. They just want the ability to say that I can do this and you can't.
Yeah, because
That's it.
they're still doing the whole console war BS. Like I said, that's over with. That the console war is
Oh,
over with. So
that's over, Craig.
so yeah, it's they're the ones who I mean they're struggling with it. I mean they're just on there making stuff up, and it's like okay guys, you don't even have to um like you don't have to respond to them because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get you to respond to them. And if you don't respond to them, eventually they'll go away like a wart.
Right. See, look,
You know?
Paul G said it right there. Sony image soft. People forgot. Sony used to make laptops. They didn't really do so good in that. They used to make that. Their
Uh,
own shit. They have the Xperia phones with camera software that's found in every phone right now. You know that tap to wake shit on your phone?
yeah, nah,
Y'all know that on smartphones, tap to wake? Sony did that.
yeah.
Sony and Philips, they created that technology in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
It's just being used always on display. They made that too. Like, there's a bunch of shit Sony have done that people don't know and they don't give credit to. The first 4K phone that's literally 4K screen, 4K resolutions, 4K recording, 60 frames per second. The Xperia phones, Sony was the first to do that. Did anybody pay it no mind? No. But when Samsung and Apple started doing 4K 60 recording, and you could do 120 frames slow motion, everybody jumped on the bandwagon. But when Sony did it already, nobody says nothing.
Yeah, I was saying
Everybody
that to
talks about these
somebody.
companies like y'all don't know the companies at all, like outside of gaming.
Yeah,
When people say
well,
they have stock in Sony, I'd be like, and what? Because I have it at Microsoft and Azure. I actually have stock in these companies: Microsoft, Sony, Samsung, Toshiba, and what's the name of my computer? Fuck. What's the name of this company? This Chinese company. Um, fuck. Um, Oppo, like
okay.
the phone manufacturer, and Huawei. Do you know why? Because they make technology every fucking day and they stock go up. So when they talk about I have stock in this, show me where.
Yeah,
Y'all niggas be lying, bro. Console warriors. They know nothing about Microsoft. Y'all know nothing about Sony. Y'all know nothing about Samsung. Y'all know nothing about Apple. So I don't know why they talk about cloud and all that shit. Because talk about Microsoft are working on deals with cable manufacturer. Campbell, you telling me you expect a telecommunications company to cut a deal with Microsoft to push they shit that they know is not gonna bring back constant revenue? That must be out your fucking mind. Okay.
yeah. Well, they just don't.
Verizon is not gonna do it. Verizon linked with Samsung. And the reason why, like Verizon can link with Samsung, because they know Samsung sells TVs, and they know if they put Verizon and they apps on there, people are gonna buy it. They're gonna make money. S Cloud, I see it did good in Korea. Good. That should just tell you, okay, oh, now they're linking with Samsung. They've been linking with Samsung for every damn thing.
Yeah. Well, they've. I mean, Paul G said they're not going multi-plat. Look, Paul, Sean Layden
Who
said
not going
some of Sony's games, select games, are going to go to
They're gonna go
PC.
multi-plat. They have to go
That's
multi-plat.
per Sean Layden. So
Why not?
not all their games are going to go, but they're going
Oh,
to have some of their select games go. So I mean, again, that could be Concrete Genie could go, Dreams could
just they
go. This They're
no, it's
smaller
not no
games.
code. They will go, Craig. Not code. They're gonna go.
Medieval, I think will probably end up going to PC, but
Yeah.
none of their major titles
Oh no,
are
they don't
going to
go.
go. So
Eventually, they will. Yeah.
but I mean, again, and once their PS5 comes out, their PS4 games are just going to be sitting there. So yeah, some of them are going to go to PC because they're not going to be able to be played on the PS5. So not
You
all
know.
of them. Some of them will be able to go to PS5, but most of them are going to stay back on PS4, and they'll just sit there. And if they can put them on Steam to go, like Dreams, I don't see why Dreams is not on PC. I
It's gonna
mean,
go.
yeah, eventually it will go, and I think Medieval will go, and I think
But
that
why?
Predator is already going. Predator's going.
Yeah.
Sony
You
struck
said
that deal with
why?
Warner, so
Craig, I wonder if you notice the deals Sony and Epic Games are making. I don't think they're gonna put shit on Steam. They're gonna push that Epic Store.
they could. They
Think
could.
about it. You have Sony. They think with crossplay, right? 2018. That was over which game? Fortnite, right?
Yeah, that's still in the beta. Well, maybe
And
Fortnite. Maybe Fortnite's
no,
out
it's
of
out of
beta
beta.
now.
It's
Well,
out of beta. It's been
yeah,
out of
maybe out
beta
of beta.
since
Okay.
October. That was Epic Games, right?
Yeah, it was
When
free
you
to
heard,
play. Yeah.
but when you heard Quantic Dream Games were going to PC, which storefront did it go to?
Oh, that was Epic. Yeah, Quantic Dream is not owned by Sony. Quantic Dream is
But
a
and
separate
then
studio.
now, and then you have games like Sony games going to PC. What's the rumor of which store is it going to?
Well, I don't go. I don't do rumors. They right now they've got games on PC now. So, but they're not going to do. I've not seen anything because even shout out to JTech, Jason Schreier just blocked him. And all he did was ask for an update on the Horizon Zero Dawn thing, and Jason Schreier blocked him for it. So I think I mean, at this point, that's why I was saying before that people are just going to come out and they can say everything's going to PC when they
Oh,
got
he
no
blocked.
proof. Yeah,
He
I mean, he's
blocked.
got it up on his Twitter feed. Jason Schreier blocked him. Not unless it's a false account. Jason Schreier could have it. Somebody could have a sock account, but
No,
he.
I don't think. I think he knows. Like he will
Okay,
check.
well then he wouldn't have blocked him if he had some more information. So
Yeah,
that's
because
just.
people know JTech, and remember JTech previous situation. He's kind of getting these kind of infamous for
Oh no,
certain
no, no,
things he
that's
did.
fine. That's fine. But
That
again,
could be
I
another
mean,
reason
if
too.
I would have asked for the same thing. Like, all right, you said we were going to hear about something in February. We're midway through February, and nothing has been said.
How much I
So
want to bet Sony made some of these rumors up just to keep people talking about them?
it wouldn't shock me. I mean, I'm pretty sure that
Cause
they leaked some of that bad information. Well, hell, like you were saying, Sony leaked that piss poor information about the PS5, the specs. I mean,
yeah,
yeah, I mean that was
yeah,
crazy. It's like, well, no, that's wrong. I
uh-huh.
mean, you know.
Because I noticed that every time Sony would do something and it's like confirmed and they confirmed it, even if it didn't, Microsoft would poke fun at Sony. Like they know this time around, neither Sony or Microsoft is saying anything, and Microsoft has not yet poked fun at Sony once. So something telling me either all the information was wrong or it's not wrong, and Sony are just fucking with y'all.
Well, I mean, to me,
Cause I
they
mean,
came out
like,
at CES and they told us what the thing was going to do. That's it. It's over.
right? Think
That's
about
here's
it.
what it's going to do. Whether they do it with 9.8 T flops, 11 T flops,
Oh
whatever
no,
they're
not the
gonna
T
do.
flops. Not even just that, Craig.
Yeah.
Think about it. When the PlayStation 4 Pro got the Neo shit was leaked before E3 2016 by Foxconn and the shell of it, you saw Microsoft come out immediately. It was like, 6 is greater than 4 and all of that. This time around, Microsoft went from we want to set the benchmark of gaming to play Xbox Series X would be on par with PlayStation 5 power and performance.
Oh
To him,
yeah. I know.
so to him saying he can't say he has a most powerful console because he don't know what Sony can come with.
Yeah,
So if y'all hearing them go for benchmark to we don't know, that should tell me right there all the information that's coming out is fake.
yeah. Well, I mean, again, nothing is set in stone. I
And
mean,
two
even
gigahertz and an APU, like come on, guys, a 2 gigahertz APU for a
yeah,
GPU variant inside of a console.
yeah.
How many T flops? What cooling is going to cool at?
Oh, I don't know. Well, like I said, I that's why I'm more concerned about talking about games like MLB The Show and Final Fantasy and The Last of Us stuff like games that are coming out. You just talked about Neo 2 going go. That's a physical game that will be in our hands, and if you want it, in 6 weeks, give or
That's the
take at
only
least.
reason I
Yeah.
brought it
So
up because I'm tired of this speculation. So you see, like me, y'all don't see me on Twitter no more, right? The app is gone off my phone. Like it's gone. All
yeah.
y'all do is fucking speculate all day about consoles that's not gonna come out
All right.
until it's ready.
Yeah.
I hope they get delayed. I'll be honest with you. I hope they get delayed.
But they might.
I
Like I
want,
said, I
I
mean,
want to see people
yeah.
cry over it. Like it's plastic. Play the fucking games. Like y'all really are aggravating me at this point. Now I see
Well,
what Fatal Mephisto be talking about when he says he really taught his community like people are fucking stupid. Now I see what he be talking about.
yeah, they are. Well, if you know that the people who are listening to you want to listen, want to speculate, that's what you're going to give them. That's what you are going to give them. And I mean, that's what Dealer Gaming was saying to me last week. Well, before his girlfriend D jumped in, but that's what Dealer was pretty much saying is that it's okay to speculate because of this, and this. And it's like, no, it's never okay to speculate. Here's
Because
what
then when you're wrong,
yeah, you'll just say if they're wrong, they'll just say, "Oh well, we're I was just speculating," So they've created a system of no accountability. That's all they've done. Now I will give Jack Reacher credit. He did a video last week saying that this why there was so much speculation and why people were saying one thing one day. And he acknowledged, yeah,
because they
people
don't
want
have
to
shit to
know.
talk about.
Yeah, and that's what he said. There's nothing else to
That's
talk
like cop
about
out. No, that's
especially
like
in the
cop out
Xbox
excuse.
community. If you're in the Xbox
They
community,
talk
you don't got
about
nothing to talk about. So
Craig. That's why they talk about speculation. One, because they don't have no games to talk about. Think about it. When you talk about Halo Infinite, the first thing they say is it was coming out with the next Xbox. So automatically it's already attached to the next Xbox. The next Gears of War game, I'm sure is gonna come out. Xbox Series X. The next Forza game in the little trailer they did, that's an update or the next Forza. That right there is attached to Series X. Hellblade 2 is attached to Xbox Series X. There's nothing for Xbox One X right now that they would talk about. But right now you have Neo 2. You can still talk about Horizon Zero Dawn. You can still talk about Days Gone. You can still talk about Uncharted. You can still talk about The Last of Us, the first game, even though it's a PS3 game. You can still talk about all of that right now. Because right now, people actually play those games. Right now, for example, right now, I'm playing Horizon Zero Dawn again, just for fun, right? Just I restarted it, so I'm level 10. Right now, I'm playing Horizon Zero Dawn. I could literally look at it and say, Craig, you know what I'm doing right now? I'm infiltrating a corrupted zone all the way. Which part of the map? The upper part of the map. All they're gonna talk about is teraflops and shit.
yeah, well, they got nothing else to talk about. So and that's just what it
And
comes down to.
and
So
then I hear people say power matters to us. Why? First off, y'all don't make the games, so shouldn't they matter to the developers? Since they the ones who make it?
well,
Time and
I
money.
mean, again, power. I understand it, but even friggin' White Zaddy came out and said that the power T flop narrative is over. Like
It's
they
been
said
over.
that months ago. They were like, it's over, it's done. It's going to be about content and who's going to be able to deliver the better content because Navi's architecture is different than GCN. They don't have to have as many T flops to get the same type of performance at a lower yield. That's what they're excited. That's why they went up there on stage and said it's 21% more efficient. It's 18% more efficient. Look at it compared to our competitor. We're giving you the same type of performance, and we are $250 cheaper. That's why she does that. That's why she does those TV shows on with Jim Cramer and the Market Watch. That's why she does that stuff because she's talking about efficiency and performance. And that's what you hear about the PlayStation. What do you hear? Like what Foxy says efficient, performance, efficiency. it's going to be much more balanced, more efficient. So,
People
and
get that
that's what the
confused. That word performance. People don't know what that means.
no, they
They
don't.
think it means resolution. Nah, the
No.
performance means the output. It's not just resolution. It's basically, how can I put this? The resolution and frame rate together is performance. Mostly performance is the frame rate. But when they say you could offer more performance at a lower rate, think about it. It means basically you could get like 4K 60 on a RDNA card at 60 flops that's clocked at like what, 11. So think about the Xbox One X. RDNA 11, I mean, 6 flops at 1172 megahertz. That right there is like non GCNT flops right there. You're going to get 4K on that, basically. That's the difference.
Oh yeah, yeah. They don't have anything else to talk about though, and when they have this information out now, that's why. And like I said, that's why with Porter Rock was on he was on with Next Gen the other day. Those guys were literally trying to get him and J Dub to literally come out and say, "Well, Sony's going to have to do the same thing as Microsoft because there's nothing else for them to talk about."
I think they're legit scared of Sony. One, because Microsoft don't, they have the confidence to reveal their console, but they're not pushing like their shit is the best. Like right now, they're just pushing Game Pass. They're just basically saying our service is the best,
Yeah,
our
which is
cloud is the
fine.
best.
Yeah, yeah. You
But they
push what you got.
console,
You push what you
but
got.
notice,
So
but
that's
Craig,
fine.
they saying their cloud is the best, they service is the best. One
Yeah.
thing I've yet to heard them say is that their console was the best, like they did before.
Well, again, there's no reason they've got. I think Ori is coming out. They've got games that are coming to that platform. The Flight Sim is coming out, so they are more or less talking about that. It's the same with Sony. There's no reason to talk about the PS5 because there's content still coming out for PS4. And shout out to Jimmy B Gaming because he mentioned that as well. But at the end of the day, I think what they're scared of is that Sony is going to eventually get the games that Microsoft has, and they
They
want
will, I'm
Sony to
sure.
do the same thing, to be open. Microsoft is more open now. How come Sony can't do it? I mean, that's what they were saying to Porter Rock the other day. So it's funny.
But
So
wait, I thought y'all said that games was one and done. Why did they even want Sony to
they
do
were
it? They
just
do
saying
it.
that, like Next Gen said. Next Gen came up with that. He said, I'm the one that taught them that. He said it was just a way for them to come back because they were. I mean, Next Gen has said that. So it was just a way for them to come back because they don't like the fact they can't play those games. That's it. They can't
They
stand it.
can.
Yeah. So
They
well,
can.
they
Just
can
go
if
get
they
a
go by the platform. Yeah, but that's what I was speaking on earlier. They will say that them having to go buy something else is anti-consumer. It's not.
but,
It is not.
but
But that's what they're going to push.
but wait, so hold on. So how did Microsoft get y'all to buy Xbox from the beginning then? Because I could have swore the reason you got an Xbox, you said, was games like Halo that's not available on PlayStation. And y'all also said y'all going to get the Xbox Series X because Hellblade 2 is not on PlayStation. So considering that that's locking a game from PlayStation, wouldn't that be anti-consumer too?
Well, yeah, based on their logic, yeah, but since it's on a platform that they want to purchase, again, their version of anti-consumerism is if I have to go buy something I don't want to buy, it's anti-consumer. So since they want to
They
go buy
don't.
a Series X, they're already planning on getting the Series X. It can't be anti-consumer because I'm going to go buy that platform. And they'll
They don't
say,
want an Xbox then. They
no,
don't want an Xbox because one, Microsoft don't want you to buy Xbox.
no,
They
well, I
wanted
think
you
they
on
want you
PC.
to. They just don't care.
No,
I
they wanted them
mean,
on PC, Craig, from the beginning. That
yeah,
was Bill Gates' plan. They wanted you on PC and just under a service. That's why Xbox Live came to consoles.
yeah, and that's
And now
why.
that they have a constant revenue stream and they know people are will buy it, like Live, they're like, okay, so we don't need the fucking system no more. Now we got the service. Like, for example, Microsoft competed against Apple in computers, right? Whoop they ass. They did. Microsoft whooped their ass. They owned the place PC space. Now you got Microsoft got out of that. Now you see Dell and all these other companies making it. They just have Microsoft Word
Yeah. Well, again,
or
that's my
Microsoft,
point.
like
Yeah.
they just made Windows. They don't need to build no more hardware because they got the software.
Yeah, and that's going back to what Porter Rock was saying yesterday. If you can just concentrate on delivery and no very limited overhead. I mean, Microsoft does not have to do anything for Samsung's phones. They don't. Samsung is in charge of their phones. They don't have to do anything with the overhead. They don't have to deal with it, which is good for Microsoft. That's why I'm like, yeah, this actually does make sense. So it just it is what it is. So
sort of makes sense.
but yeah, so to me, this is a good deal because it gets them out. Again, this is just another step in leaving the console space when you are
They're not
literally
gonna
saying
leave.
they're leaving. It's not going to be this. It's not going to be. It'll be like by the end of this decade, they're leaving. There's no reason for them to make a console when they can just move everything to cloud and have you access their stuff via cloud on the device you want. Whether that be the Windows tablet or a Samsung tablet, which are the
Yeah, and I know
so
like dudes always talk about Microsoft's money. Like Jay Barbie, like Microsoft gets the money. Think about it. If these fanboys are so obsessed with Microsoft getting money, y'all saying if Sony does that, they would make more money. Do y'all have a problem with Microsoft doing it? Then
well, I mean,
putting the
again,
games on PlayStation if they know they're gonna make money.
Sony's movie Bad Boys for Life is tracking for $500 million. That's the
Mm-hmm.
tracking. So Sony's money is fine. The Venom movie, Venom 2, will
Sony
track
can.
for $1 billion when it finally comes out because they're going to have Carnage in there. They're talking about a Spider-Man cameo. So people will go see that movie. And
Sony's market
so they're
cap
fine.
right is 91 billion.
Yeah, they're fine. Their money's fine. I mean,
Let
people
that
need to
sink
get
in.
over it. They just bought
No, literally.
INSOMNIAC for 229 million cash. Okay,
Yeah, I'm
that
like,
was a
and people
foul
saying
already.
that's cheap. How is
It
that cheap?
well, that's not bad considering all the intellectual property that you're going to get, and they have the rights to make another Ratchet and Clank movie again. That's if they decide to do it. That's
I
if
hope they
Sony
don't.
decides to do it. So, but yeah, it's just they're fine, and they're going to announce 2 to 3 more studios that they've got shortly, because they have
I'm
to
positive.
disclose. They have to disclose the studios here because they have to
They
file
don't
this
have
on
to.
FTC.
Oh yeah, they have to. Yeah.
Yeah, so they have to
Um,
announce shortly.
do you think that Sony is gonna? Because they said PC games are coming to PC. And I know you watched Lincoln Clay. Do you think that includes PC VR too?
As far as their games going to PC.
Like the PlayStation games, like some
Oh
going
yeah,
being have like
again, yeah. That's why I keep saying to people, PlayStation, Sony has like a bunch of studios making VR games. So some of those games are going to go to PC. I'm talking about the VR games, which again, people just they forget about. They talk about Horizon Zero Dawn. They talk about all these other things, but they forget about their studios that make VR games. So the Avengers game, the Iron Man game, that will eventually go. That's on PC for PSVR. That will eventually go to PC because Marvel owns that property, and Marvel will want that everywhere.
I think
So
Guerrilla Games gonna be their best studio when it comes to going for PC games and VR games.
well, I mean,
For
it could
some,
be, but I don't know if Gorilla's ever made a VR game. I'm not saying that they haven't, but they're gonna they'll be fine. And Microsoft will be fine. I think I've said here for the last year and said what
that's
Microsoft is doing
Microsoft.
is going to be
Oh,
fine. So they'll both be fine.
that's
So
Microsoft. Why wouldn't they be fun? Like
yeah,
that's fucking Microsoft. People be forgetting sometimes. Like that is Microsoft, not a little ass company. They know what they're doing, but sometimes they can be a bit out of touch with what people want. I
yeah,
think they really are right now. I think Microsoft is thinking like, okay, they say they want to do this, but they're not buying the game. So what the fuck are we to do now? Like, I've
yeah,
noticed people just keep blaming Microsoft for shit that's their fault. Like, I watched Enrique podcast where he had Forte on there,
yeah. I watched that. That was a good
and I
podcast.
noticed the beginning of this gen they said PS4. The only reason it was ahead because it had 1080p and shit,
Yeah,
and Xbox has the better games, right?
yeah, yeah.
That's what they said. But then when you listen to them now, they say when I tell them to stop blaming Microsoft, they say, "Oh no, let's be fair. Microsoft had games, but to be honest, those games sucked." So I'm
Well,
like,
I
so
mean, well,
wait a
that's
minute, wait a
subjective.
minute.
But I
So
look, no,
where the
no,
fuck was
there,
this energy in the beginning
well,
of this
the
gen?
problem is that they truly do believe that the reason why the PlayStation outsold the Xbox is because the whole 1080p thing, and the media turned on Microsoft and people made fun of the games and stuff like that. It's like,
Turned on. They
no,
never
that's
was
not
against.
true. So, and again, you can talk to them. I mean, you can show them evidence. We did this on we had what you call it, Foxy Games had a Xbox 448 on the gamer couch one Sunday, and I
Yeah, I
mean,
know. I was there.
there's nothing you can do or say to them to move them off of that. You know, they don't care about the price of the games. They don't care about that, or the PlayStation being $100 cheaper. Cause to them, because it says Xbox on it, it's better. So there's when
Hmm.
somebody hits that point, um, it's like Frost Nixon. It's like when Nixon told Frost in that interview, "When the president orders it, it's not illegal." So and that's the way they feel about the Xbox. Oh, they're Microsoft fans, and if Microsoft says to do it, then it's better. So it's effed up the way they are in the first place. You know, they say that other game didn't do well. The Quantum Break. Well, the media came out and said it was 792p, and then people made fun of it. Well,
You remember who said that?
so
Remember
what?
who said that?
You know,
But
Biden.
it's funny because, like, I'm like, so you telling me that somebody else has the power of your wallet to tell you not to buy a game because it's a certain resolution? Are you fucking kidding me?
No,
You
that's
really?
it. That's the truth. They do not have the ability to make their own minds up. They believe in something called mind share, which doesn't exist. You
No,
know.
on mind shares, this is what people think.
Well,
People
yeah,
gotta
yeah,
realize that.
and that other game that came out for the PlayStation, The Order, that was like 800p. People still bought it. I mean, the
Yeah, and
game
actually,
still did well.
that's sold
Yeah,
5 million. Like, people
yes,
really don't think, like, I ain't pay attention. Games like Knack, you make fun of, but Knack was fucking 5 million game oversold.
yeah.
Drive Club, The Order, all of them games sold well. Killzone was like only like almost 5, like 4.7, but like still those games sold. And people keep saying games like Rise was mediocre, but y'all was the fucking one saying that Rise was a showcase for the Xbox. It
It
was
was. That's
awesome.
the first game we saw running on the Xbox hardware at
Correct.
their press conference was Rise. They show,
So
so they're,
So how is it all of a sudden all those games were bad now?
they weren't bad. They just did not go buy those games. I mean, again,
See that?
and that was new IP. That's what makes that so bad. Is that was a new IP. They just did not go support it. Metal Gear, they put Metal Gear on there, and that game sold terribly on the Xbox. And that, I'm talking about Metal Gear 5. They put 5 on. I think
Yup, yeah, I remember
yeah.
when
So
Kojima was on their stage. I remember.
yeah. And the first time we saw Metal Gear 5 was on the Xbox. They didn't show that. We knew it was coming to PlayStation, but they showed that game on Xbox, and everybody was like, "Oh, well, the Xbox is being serious, blah blah this." But when Phil Spencer came out there and said, "You get all this for $500," it's like, no, I'm not paying $500. So, and that's what doomed them. But they don't process information like that. Like I said, the
Well, they
information is
get
out
doomed.
there. So
They get doomed when they didn't buy the fucking system and the games. Like a software company sees you not buying fucking software. What are they supposed to do?
well, yeah, and again, what Microsoft is doing again makes the most sense. It's like, okay, they're not buying our hardware, they're not really buying our software, so let's give them the software for $10 a month, like Netflix, and then give them the option to go play it anywhere they want. That's what they're doing. That to
And even
me
now,
makes more
that's not gonna work.
sense.
It's
Well,
not gonna work.
we won't know that though for about 7 to 10 years.
No, we
But
know it's
it might not work. It might not
it's
work.
gonna work when it reaches PlayStation.
Possibly,
And I
yeah.
know
I mean,
damn well
you know,
Microsoft want to put this shit on PlayStation now. Right now,
yeah,
I'm
I'm
sure
sure
they
they
want to put
do.
that shit on.
Yeah, and Switch because that's 100 and what
And
50,
Switch.
60 million consoles that they don't have Xbox Live on. So of course they want to get it there eventually. I think eventually they will get it there, but I think Sony does it on their phones, their tablets, and televisions first.
Hmm.
For I literally think they can say, hey, we make television sets. If you want to try Xbox Live on there, fine. and then they can stream your games through the television set or
Oh
on
no,
the tablet.
that's not gonna happen. That TV shit, they're not gonna put. They would put the Game Pass app on there. Actually, live, and they put if
Well, that's
you see
what
Game Pass Ultimate, they will put on there. I think
Well, possibly,
probably.
yeah. But my point is that they can try it out on other Sony products before it gets to PlayStation. I personally, if I'm in Sony's room, Microsoft calls me, I'm like, look, you want to put it on the TV? Fine. You want to put it on the Xperia, the phone? Fine. Tablets? Well, I don't know. So I think Sony used to have a tablet. I don't know now, but Samsung has a tablet.
No.
Sony makes TV, and that Samsung makes TVs, and I would not be shocked if next year or by the end of this year, you see something like Game Pass or Xbox Live is going to be available on a Samsung TV. You know, it may have to be, it may not be me because I got the 7,000 series, but let's say you have the 8,000 series and up. They may say you have to have this series, you know, to get it, but, you know, who knows. But we'll have to wait and see. I've got no problem waiting. I'm glad Microsoft's doing it because they got their tails kicked in physical media. They got their tails kicked. So they're going somewhere else. Makes sense to me.
Hey, Craig. Question: do you remember when Sony was pushing PS when the Pro and the X was coming out, right? And Microsoft had the native Blu-ray player, and Sony said you could stream content for 4K instead. And they said that was anti-consumer because physical media still matters.
Well, it still does matter, and yeah.
But
I remember
question: when you do Game Pass and cloud, do you own anything?
What I do what now?
Do you own anything physical, or is it everything digital?
For me, like with Disney Plus,
No,
it's
like in general, like
no,
streaming and cloud. You don't, right?
no, no.
So you saying Sony was correct with what they eventually did, right?
As far as their cloud, as far as the way
Cause
they
remember,
delivered it.
they say Microsoft pioneered everything, like backwards compatibility and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Sony said years ago, streaming makes more sense, a more viable option. It makes more sense. It's easier.
Yeah.
Y'all remember that, right? And now Sony's putting Blu-ray player. And now Sony is copying Microsoft.
Well, again, it is. It's not that I'm sure they borrowed some of their ideas, but are they directly copying? No, no. It's just. I just again, it's a cope to me. It's a coping mechanism. That's why they're on Twitter, starting shit on Twitter with people. You know, it's just like, damn, dude, it's over with. It's done. I mean, like I said, Phil Spencer has bent the knee. He said they're not even their competition. They don't want to get into a format fight. I don't know. They signed a deal with Samsung to use their so that they can use 5G on their tablets and phones. What part of this are they not? I don't know why they're having an issue with.
Their competition still because then
Well, I agree,
because
but
Sony
that's how it
has
feels.
TVs with they shit on there. So
Yeah. Well, I
once
mean,
they
again,
have
that's
the
fine.
same idea, like think about it. Sony has a TV, Samsung has a TV, correct?
Yeah.
Sony has a phone, Samsung has a phone. Microsoft has a console, Sony has a console. Sony says they want to reach 2 billion gamers. Microsoft wants to reach that. Sony has been doing cloud streaming. Microsoft is doing cloud streaming. Microsoft isn't gaming. Sony isn't gaming. So hold up. And I'm sure Sony, they talk about that Sony is not going to use Azure for cloud compute. Yeah, they are. Because the only way to get deep AI integration in games like how they want is via cloud and semiconductors. And think about it. Microsoft and Sony said they're both working on AI together for semiconductors, cloud gaming, crossplay, and they want everybody to come together in gaming. So can I ask you a question? If they're doing all of this together, how are they not competition? If they're doing the exact same shit just with different name products.
Well, I mean, if Microsoft wants to say because Sony is using Azure and Microsoft owns Azure, then Sony's a customer, so we're not going to look at them as competition. Fine, I mean, to me,
Okay.
it's as long as they're fanboys. If that's what their fanboys want to say, fine. Just the whole notion of getting shit started and then trying to walk away. I don't know what, like I said before, I really don't know what their fanboys are going to do. What's up the Coon 1985s and Forza Street is coming to Galaxy devices now. Okay, that's fine. I mean, I don't have a Samsung phone, so it does not bother me
I have an
at
iPhone.
all. So yeah, so
Craig, I'm
if it,
glad you said that, by the way. You said basically it's saying Sony is a customer and Microsoft is a
if that's what they want to say, that's fine.
But
Yeah.
here's the thing. That's like saying Apple gets they OLED screens from Samsung. Would Samsung ever say Apple is not their competition?
Oh
Think
well,
about it. Huh?
no, they wouldn't.
Okay,
But
so
it's so what
that
if
kills it
that's what?
right there.
Yeah, but if that's
That
what they
kills it right
want
there.
to say, that's fine. My point is that if that's what they want to say, that is fine. My entire
Yeah.
thing is do not get into this back and forth match with them
Mm-hmm.
because they're pissed off that Microsoft has walked away. They're mad. They're angry. They
Yeah.
don't, they do not like the fact that Microsoft is doing what they're doing. So, like you said, they're scared, they're worried. I personally think they're worried that they're going to wake up and they're going to see somebody tweet it out. Oh, Microsoft just confirmed whatever Gears is going to go to the PlayStation or be streamable on Samsung TVs or be
I think they would cry.
streamable on the Sony Xperia phone because they're going to put the Game Pass app on making it available for Xperia, stuff like that. That's what I think they'll do eventually, but we'll have to wait and see.
I think Boomstick would cry. Him and Welsh Gamer. I think they would cry.
I expect Boomstick and So Shady and all those guys to bitch and moan. That So Shady's been complaining for the last 3 weeks on what
Shady
Microsoft's doing.
blocked me on Twitter. I don't know, he act funny sometimes, but you see people like Saltiest Gaming and them, I fucks with them because they just keep it how it is. You don't know they Xbox, but they're just not gonna overdo it. You know, like I'm Xbox, fuck you and all that, Pony. You know, they all their links are Xbox, but still they would sit there and they would talk to you, you know. Have a regular conversation.
Well, like I said to some other Xbox guy, I said, look, Phil Spencer has bent the knee and walked away. And I just put in quotes what Phil Spencer said, does not want a format war with Nintendo or Sony. And I just said it the other day. I said, Sony is the true king of the North. It's time. It's over with. So I said, they can deal with it however they want. You know, they can deal with it however they want to, whatever they want to do is fine.
Don't get it twisted. Most of this shit is investor talk about the future of gaming.
Yeah.
All that is investor talk. Remember, this old expression, and I'm sure everybody here knows it. Actions speak louder than words. They said they was going to do cloud streaming, and then right after that, Jim Ryan said, we're going to focus. We're going to push PS Now more harder, but it's not our focus. It's still an option. Microsoft is trying to make it the option.
Yeah.
But it said the console would still be there, but how would it be there if you're making everything digital? You're making everything into a service like you did with Windows. They trying to turn Xbox into Windows again.
Well, no, which is fine. Yeah, and that's been their long-term plan. And
it's not fun, Craig. Why? Because then you're going to have people here who's left on the internet bitching and moaning, coming at me every second about,
well, just don't say nothing back. If they start bitching and moaning,
I ignore them.
Just ignore them.
Like me, I could be on somebody's show. Say I'll visit Saltiest Gaming stream, right? I'll say good evening because usually streams at night. First thing I see, people talk about, oh fuck, now we got ponies in the chat. I'm like, you can't even say hello, ignore me. You want to start off negative? Are you fucking serious? Like, I'll moderate Rand's channel. I don't know, he just made me a mod, right? First thing people say, oh, you got Spartan fraud as a moderator, everything. I'm like, yo, like, y'all really are whole kids here on the internet getting mad over fucking plastic? Imagine that. Imagine me, Craig, getting pissed off like me. I had an Android phone for years, then I went to iPhone. People say Apple sucked and expect me to get mad. Why would I get mad at a company that can't do shit for me? Think about it. they could provide a product, you know, gaming system and all of that. But Microsoft, Sony, they can't do shit. I make money off of them because you know I have stock in them, but I had to buy that. They didn't just give it to me. I had to actually purchase that. They can't do shit for you, man. The company's not your friend. You think Phil's coming to your party chat, smiling and all of that? The reason he's smiling because he's like, I got these fucking suckers hooked.
Yeah.
That's why.
Oh yeah. To me,
Sony, same
yeah.
same shit. Like Sony and them, y'all think they care about us? They care about their product. That's one thing because that's how the Japanese are. But they don't care if you don't buy this shit or not. Like if you buy it, you buy it. If you don't, you don't. They make money regardless. Just a wake up call for anybody who didn't get the message yet. They are a business, like Sick might be saying. At the end of the day, you may get your feelings hurt, but this is a business. Like Microsoft said, they in the business to make money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And you
and
can't
again,
get
that's why I
mad
said
at
if this is the best way for them to do that, that's I don't have an issue with what they're doing. People have asked me what I thought long term what they may do, and I'm like, look, Sony makes a cell phone, Sony makes TVs. Don't be shocked if not tomorrow, not 3 to 5 years from now, well, maybe 3 years from now, you don't see Game Pass pop up on Sony's television set or Sony's tab if they make one, or Sony's cell phone, the Xperia. Don't, because like you said, Xperia has a 4K screen. So let's see if maybe that's
the
enticing.
first.
Yeah, but that's fine. But maybe that entices Microsoft through 5G to go ahead and say, okay, well, not only did we sign this with Samsung, maybe they'll sign another deal with Sony. We'll just have to wait and see. But
Got it.
I'm sure Sony is going to wait to see how this thing works with Samsung, and we won't know that for 4 to 6 years on
It won't work out.
how it levels out.
It's
But
not
yeah,
going to work out.
but we'll have to wait and see. But I'm willing to
No,
wait and see. But am I going to hold my breath? No. But I'm going to jump on off here because I do have to roll on up to GameStop and put a little more money down
damn, these fucking shits be wilding.
on The Last of Us Part 2. So yeah.
How much?
But all right then, bro. Thanks for hopping on.
Thank you, Craig.
Appreciate you.
Adios, y'all.
So all right, guys, I am gonna bounce unless there's any more questions. Yeah, we got that one already. I think it's called they may have cognitive dissonance. Who knows? So Sony had a Spider-Man train. They also had a Spider-Man bus. Remember that? I think they had a bus with Spider-Man painted on the side. So yes, that is correct about who Jack Reacher is. And so again, Paul G, it's easy to spit back and say what rumors or what games are going to come. At this point, you can say all of them are coming. You know, that's why I just shrug my shoulders. I'd be like, all right, well, this every game's coming. So, but yeah, there's until you hear. That's why I specifically said until you hear from Sony, it's not true. That's just the way it is. So, but all right, guys, I'm gonna get on off here. Remember, I did beat the Sawmill Horde. It was very disappointing. You're right there, Jack. You can't reason with stupid people. Yeah. The Last of Us Part 2, PAX East, 1 hour playable demo. They did give us a free theme. Thank you all for putting that code in there. Appreciate you. Insomniac deal, we really didn't touch on it. Sony paid $229 million for Insomniac. Again, I think that's a good price for what Insomniac brings because, again, now they don't have to worry about there's a Ratchet and Clank animated movie. Sony will make that animated movie, and that gives more for Sony's animated studios to do. And remember, they're coming off of the Oscar for Into the Spider-Verse last year. So yeah, I think it's a good deal. We'll have to wait and see what happens with it down the road. And yeah, the Samsung Microsoft deal to me makes perfect sense. Samsung has a huge presence in the phone industry, and Microsoft wants to stream through for cloud, and that's what they're doing. I think that's fine. I think that's fine. But all right, then, guys, I will talk to you all later. Man, I've been here for a couple hours, and I do appreciate you all coming. So shout out to you all. Thank you all. Thank you. Yes, that's been Mass Effect 3 that's been up there on the screen that you've been watching. But y'all take it easy. Stay blessed. Peace.